Hey everybody, and welcome on back to Minecraft 1.15. Last episode we came through here and started up this brand new village building project, and I'm so excited that I've been getting a little bit of work done here in between episodes of getting our pathway placed in here. And on top of that, I've been grinding like crazy. We've got a bunch of iron coming through here, which is absolutely awesome. I don't think I went and did a bunch of mining too. All of that iron, 4 stacks iron. We also got a bunch of this stuff up here. And we got a little bit more junk in here as well, which is looking pretty fantastic. But one thing I wanted to point out here in this very, very early point, and I'm going to leave a link to the bug down below. And if you all can do me a massive favor and go over to the Mojang bug tracker and upvote this one, is currently paintings do not have the ability to display transparent pixels. This is supposed to be just a background so you see the wood logs with some papers just pinned to it, is the idea. It's worked in every other update until 1.15, and it is a recognized bug. And if y'all can go and upvote that one and help us out and get this thing fixed, that would be absolutely awesome, because it's supposed to be showing stuff like that in there, not the white. But anyways, moving on beyond that one, what we're going to be working on today is I want to build up the main feast hall, longhouse, whatever we want to call it. It's going to go in this flattened area right here, stretching out that way. It's going to make this little house right here look even smaller. And it's going to be so cool. I want to do that, and I also want to go underneath it and have like a secondary entrance down probably in this area where you can go on the roadway and it kind of drops you down a little bit. And we're going to have that turning into a storage room itself. I'm not too sure yet on the exact dimensions of this one. I've been doing a lot of research on these things online just to see what I can find out here. And let's grab a little bit of spruce wood. We're running low on the stuff. I've been farming it too many trees. So I definitely need to go get some more of this stuff gathered up here and head back over to our mega taiga biome. But one thing that I've kind of been wanting to do here is to say if we take like this as like the farthest back we're going to go there, because we also want to have an outside walking area. So we need at least 2 blocks on each side. So we did that. And then we brought ourselves, say, over to here. And then that outside walking area can start there. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 blocks in the middle. That's not too bad. And we want this to be kind of like an elongated oval. So we're going to have these flatter sides and curved on the end. So I guess looking a bit like a pill. You can think of it that way. And so maybe we can bring it out this way and then something probably like that right there. That's not correct at all. That is correct. That is totally correct. I was just looking at it from a weird angle. But anyways, then we can bring out 3 here, and we'll have the door somewhere probably right in. We can have the door at this point. And then we can just do like these ones, bring them all the way down. And I think if we bring this down another set of 3 further, because if we do the doorway right in here, then we need to, if we want it to be totally even, the door would have to be right here right now, which actually wouldn't be too bad, because we could have something right like that and just remove this beam. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that one. So we can have the doorway right here, and then we just simply need to do one of these things right over here. And that's actually not too crazy large for what we want to do, but we are going to have that pathway going around the outside, like I mentioned, probably just like a stone pathway with an overhang to it. And one thing that I really want to do today, which we need to head back over to our desert to gather up that stuff real quick. So let's jump on over there. A while back, we were over here and we fixed up our arena that we had here. This used to be an iron farm way back in the day before 1.14 dropped, because that changed everything. So all of our villagers that were in the iron farm are now in here, and they're probably going to die while we're doing this stuff right now. And I was a very blind player when I originally started this game, and there is an entire fossil down here. Do you use a pickaxe for these? You do. So we're going to gather up this fossil. On top of the build that we're doing today, I would love to use these bone blocks and make it look like a dragon had, like the skeleton of a dragon is draped across the top of it. And so I think we're going to also need some smooth quartz for this one. I think it's going to be really, really cool if we can figure out how to do that. But I think that should be pretty fun. I've got a great idea in mind of how I want this thing to look. And this stretches off crazy far over here. So I'm going to gather up all these bones. We'll get the base structure in and we'll get moving forward with this one. I've started working on the base layer of this roof. So what we're going to have is kind of this stepping one going all the way around. That's going to be some slabs. Up from this level, probably, I'm thinking right now we'll just match these up directly. And then actually, let's bring this down one, and we can just bring them in like this. Can we place that, please? Thank you. And then just something right like in here. Break that, place that one in here, and that'll give us this line. And that's just going to give us some slabs going all the way around this one. That'll give us a cool bit of a trim as a dividing factor. Then when we get up to that next layer, we're going to be bringing in those bone blocks that we had, because we didn't really get that many. We only got like 40 or so. So we're going to have to go gather up a bunch more of those here. later on. But I wanted to start out by getting our front in on this one. So it's just kind of like this right here. And we'll be working on an epic, more of an epic doorway than what we have. But that's kind of that Nordic arch that I wanted to have throughout this area. And then we can bring these in over here. And this one's just going to kind of come down to here. And then this one, and I'm thinking almost we could do something right like that. No, that sticks out way too much. Maybe we just do like breaker right there. So it looks like it's kind of easing back up into those. That's actually not too bad. That should be a good way to do it. And then for now, we'll just bring these in all the way around. We don't want to have too many windows because we're going to have these big main fireplaces where the andesite pillars are right in here, because that's the way we can keep the heat in. The less windows we have means the more kind of heat that we can keep into the area. So we'll probably have a few main points to them, but this wall area situation that we have around here is gonna remain pretty flat probably for now until we can throw in some more detail here. So I've been thinking for the next episode, I want to tackle our cave up there. I think the cave would be really cool, and then we can also throw like a Sears or an enchanter's hut of sort over like right on that far side where we have all that grass piled up right there. I feel like that could be a really cool one. They could be like the person who tends to this sacred cave or whatever we're doing in there. I'm planning to do a statue though. Let me know in the comments below what type of statue we should include there, and I need some good inspiration for this one. But that's leading me to our next thing that we're going to be tackling. Let me grab some more cobblestone here real fast. Before we go up with this building, I'd actually like to go down so we can figure out our storage system that we're going to be using, because right now things are a little gross. We could say that. They're just not doing too hot in here. So we can come over into this area, and what I wanted to do was, as I'd mentioned, we're going to bring our pathway in right over here, and this is where we're going to get into a lot of darkness area, or a lot of our open-ended area down below us, which is going to be a little bit problematic to dig into, because what I wanted to do was create like an archway throughout here. And so we're going to have like this cool little archway right here that's going to be entering in for us, that's going to be coming down into this lower area. And I want it to look like a mead cellar of sorts. So what I was thinking here, just to give ourselves a way to get down a few blocks and give ourselves some room to work with, I'm probably just going to bring us down. That's probably roughly as far down as we're going to want to go with this one. So we can just do this and create a little platform for us right here. And that gives us a great way to move around from down there and do some more work as we get down lower. So we can do that. I'll build a big old platform down there probably, and then we'll be building up above that. I know that's very, very deep, but I figured we'd have like a big storage room section down here so we can at least make sense of everything that we could possibly need. And I figured getting that lower area finished up would make it a lot easier to tackle this top area. Once we kind of have that more technical side of the things done in here, we'll have a much better idea of what we want to do up top. I've been hard at work getting this pathway built out down into our cave. It's not detailed at all yet, but I like this. I think it's going to be a very cool open concept storage room. So we don't need to have any rooms or anything for like specific materials. But what I've been working on is slowly getting our stone walls built out. So I went for the cave look for this one instead of an actual basement room here. So maybe they like found this cave here, realized the top was very big and like everybody was living in this area. So then they built this thing on top of it. But now that we have this structure built down here, we need to start detailing it out a bit further. And I'm thinking we could probably do a little bit action like this. I've been crafting up a bunch of stone stuff so we can have these ready to go here. And we can fill all that stuff in. I want to leave these little pockets like this where we can just fill in a bunch of snow and maybe some grass and bushes and things like that, just in these little tiny areas right here. So I'm thinking like a tree could be awesome, like maybe 1 or 2 trees dotted into there, and that just gives us so much more space that we can start to work with as we're just slowly expanding these areas. We got to think of like having a lot of dead space inside of our build so that we can actually add in some cool things themselves throughout here. I was using andesite and stone mixing into our walkway areas, and I think it's turning out pretty cool so far. But that gives us the ability to do a few things like this. Maybe we do a stair right here. A little stone formation is coming through here and creating this entryway for us down in this space, so that maybe they like chop down some of this stuff to widen it out and make it easier to get down here. But now we need to start figuring out what this area is going to be, because these ones take a long time to do well, especially if we're trying to think along the lines of how can we add storage in here. We want to start slowly bringing everything in. We have 1 and 2 block space until we get up to the actual floor, and that's only if we don't bring it down at all, because I kind of want to do that lower down hearth areas that we had done in the first house. I think we echo those into this final one. It could actually be pretty cool. Or not this final one, this next one that we're working on. So we need to really start thinking of how we can have the ceiling in here make a lot more sense than just kind of slabbing the entire thing. So maybe we do like a little bit of a give and take on both sides of it, and we have this all working here together. So I'm gonna build this one out from the bottom side, and then we'll work with it from the top as we go throughout the build. Everything has been recently moved over into the brand new storage room, and I just need to pick these ones up, and maybe we actually get that iron so we can get the experience out of here and repair our pickaxe up here just ever so slightly. But we've got 4 stacks of iron ingots, which is pretty awesome, and I forgot this guy here as well, and we can bring that in. Been starting to add in a bit of snow here. Well, I've just been thinking about this one. I've realized that I really do not like the current shape that we have. I think it's going to look really boring on the ends. So I'm going to probably be tweaking those here shortly, but I want to show you all the finished cave down here first. The storage room is looking ever so fancy. This whole area over here is mob proof due to snow layers being on it. Remember, if you have at least 2 layers of snow, mobs cannot spawn on it. So this is totally mob proof over here, even though it's dark, which I absolutely love playing with the lighting. That's one of the things I'm most excited about playing with snow and things like that, is we can have dark areas that are just filled with snow, and it's going to look really cool. But this is the general design so far, or not the general design, it is the design of our storage room. It's very functional. In the middle here, we have all of our wood products. Over here, we got our stone, our dirt, gravel, and everything. Back here, we got all of our stern, apparently is what we're calling it. All those guys are back in there, and then that's all miscellaneous and just extra stuff. We got an ender chest. We got our, one of these thingies, our stone cutters, and just all those things around. But now it's time for me to actually mess around with this big dang old structure and make it actually look nice. I decided I didn't want to travel to the mega taiga anymore, so I added a small spruce forest down here that's slowly going to be expanding probably as we get more and more saplings. But I planted down everything that I had after gathering up the trees that were down there originally, and because these ones don't spam podzol everywhere, I just located the dark oak trees right up here. But the structure is growing a lot. I really like it. I brought in a bit of brown concrete, since if you can see it off in the distance there, there's a little bit of brown concrete on the top of that one, so it looks a little bit different than just being a wooden texture. And I like it, so I started bringing that stuff in throughout here. And this is the new idea that I have for the structure. Instead of before where we just had this one arch, the main arch on the front, I felt like that was too boring and the sides would be a little bit bland. So I decided to bring out the end bits and have those here as well, which will bring us into having some more doorways on the inside here too. Currently, I'm debating in my brain if I want to extend like this bit right here, if I want to just knock that back. So I'm thinking, like, if we did this, we could just knock that back to like right here, and that could be pretty sweet. So we just like knock this whole section right here just straight back to this point. And I'm like leaning towards doing that, because then that could give us a cool way to have like a raised platform for the king of the area. I think everybody told me it's called a jarl. I think we are going to do that. We're going to do that. And then once we're bringing these ones in, we're going to have one more layer up here, and that's where I want to have that skeletal structure with probably the dragon head on this side looking down that way. And I think it's going to be super, super cool. But it's just at that point where I got to place some blocks, remove some blocks, keep placing the blocks and everything. And it's slowly getting there. It's really, really been a pain in the butt to figure this one out so far, but I love the result we're at right now. So here's a teeny tiny update for you all of where the structure's at this point. We've got a bunch of these Nordic roof joining points of, I don't even know what they would be called, but that really iconic thing that you see on a lot of these builds coming in here, and this thing's stacking up like crazy, and it's getting so much taller, but it's looking really cool. Attempt number 5 on the dragon head. I decided to look online to see what other people had used, and it is way too big for our build here. I like the idea. I'm working with just wood right now to see what we can do, and then I'll try with whatever I can come up with here. We'll try it with the smooth quartz instead and do some bone blocks going in between. But I think that's way too big. I think I'm going to try and see if I can come up with my own version and shrink it. Take number 2. This is why I don't do organics in Minecraft. Oh my gosh, this is way harder than I thought it'd be. That looks terrible. That looks so terrible. Take number 3. Tried to curve it back in this time instead of having it hanging off. And oh, it looks like it's one of those hand gripper things, you know, that we all had kids where you can have like your super extendo arm You have the little thing that you pull with your own hand and it just like pinches things. Like it looks like that's just gonna like pinch down and grab something. Oh, time for take number 4. Have not looked at take number 4 yet, but I think from up close we're on a bit more of a winner. And maybe we just like drop it down 1 block. Maybe we, ooh, you know what, if we just bring that up to fine zoom. Oh, wait, we don't have that. What if we just take this whole point right here and just make that the base? So we bring it down from that stair right there. We just make that, like get rid of that and just have everything above that. And maybe move it out 1 block. That might be a little bit more appropriate here. I think that right there is actually a keeper. Kind of. It's a little bulky on that nose. Can we, what if we change that over to a stair? I think we actually just have a slab on top of that. Maybe we just like get rid of that slab right there. And we just get rid of this dude. And I think that might even it out a little bit more. I think that's supposed to be like what I wanted to have it is looking like the nose. But now we moved it down. It's a little, now it looks like a, you know that key shaped Pokemon from like one of those old ones? Is it called like the Unknown or something? Kind of looks like one of those now. The problem is I want to bring in trapdoors into it to help smooth that out just ever so slightly. I don't think I have any dark oak trapdoors on me. So we can make a few right here. And with our last rocket, can we get up to the point? Well, we're high enough. Can we land this? I've already failed this multiple times as we last clip had like 10 rockets on us. Made it. Perfect. But what I think would actually work is if we add in that little bit right there. So we don't get the full slab. We get a bit of a highlight to it. And that's so much better. That little bit of a raise right there was exactly what we needed. I'm going to build the one on the other side out of smooth quartz after we go to the nether and gather some of that stuff up. I think from down here, I like the wooden one more because I think it's more consistent with the build. But I also like our smooth quartz and bone block one. It's got a little bit of weird detail stuff to it. I'm completely out of rockets now, so we need to go find some more of those here soon. But I added in on the bottom of these as well. You'll see a little bit of a slab right there, making it more of a mouth shape instead of just kind of like an upside down U. And that helped bring it in a lot more concretely. I want you to all let me know in the comments what you would all prefer. Do we go with the smooth quartz being option 1, or do we go with the dragon being option 2? I will try and add a poll in the upper right hand corner. So, you know, upper right in here. Something right there. So let me know in the comments below what y'all think on that. And please be sure to vote in that poll right there. Now, however, we have the interior to tackle. And we need to get another one of those cupolas right over the top of this. And I think because of the way we have it structured, we're just going to do one main one in the center. So we're actually going to get rid of those. And we're just going to do one larger main hearth structure here in the very, very center. So something like right in here. And then we'll have like rows of tables going up and down the sides. I think that'll be much better. But I'll come back with y'all once we got that finished up. Wow. That is a sight to see when you walk outside your gate. One, the sun setting, which looks very, very pretty. And then these dudes. These rude dudes. Can we walk on by? We're just going to walk on by like we didn't see them. Okay, more questions here for everybody. One, I decided to spend the whole time filling that in with snow. So yes, that is new. Y'all didn't just miss a giant thing. Question time for our roof here. You can see up there that I'm just playing with adding the layers in. And then down here, you can see that I actually brought in some full blocks where the snow, I'm trying to come up with the idea that the snow is actually like just filling in everything. And apparently I left my brown concrete back there. I completely ran out of the stuff, so we got a little bit of a cocoa bean farm over there. And then outside of that, I'm running down into our swamp to gather up some of that stuff. But anyways, I'm playing with the idea right here of whether or not I want to be bringing in full blocks to make it look super snowy versus just a little bit of snow, because the idea of this place, after all, is that it's like the first snows of the season are coming in. So I feel like not adding in the snow blocks to this roof at least is probably better because it's so much steeper than, say, that guy over there. I think it was just making it a little too chaotic for me, like adding those in down there. So I think I'm actually making the executive decision here. We're not gonna be adding in those. I'm just gonna revert that all back to some brown concrete and then keep adding in the layers. Flying back on into our village here, I've kind of decided that I want to be moving forwards with those white dragon roofs that we had, and I meant to be flying up there, but the white bone up there with the smooth quartz and everything seems so much cooler, and I've started adding a bit more ground foliage being these lilac plants we changed the lilac one, I believe it's, the allium. The allium. We changed the texture to look like this, and it looks much, much better and much more like a mountain flower. Then I've been working on doing a little bit of landscaping work out here, building up some trees and making it oh so fancy, because I felt like we needed a bit more of a backdrop, of a way to blend everything in here together, and it's really cool. I'm so happy with this one. The next thing that we're going to be tackling, though, is the interior. That's got to be done for today's video. I really want to get the interior one of this finished up, because we did the storehouse, the storage room, and then I want to come up here to this top bit. But I was thinking about these top parts right here with our bone block and using the smooth quartz. And the reason why I want to be moving forwards with keeping these ones on here for now, unless the pole that I mentioned earlier is going to be like way, way big, is that these are much more of a highlight to the build. They make the build stand out a lot more than anything else really was, and I like that, because we have a bit of the snow throughout here, but this really draws your eye up and then into the mountains, and I think we can use that as a way of when somebody's walking up our pathway here, because we want this place to be really cool to explore from the ground. You walk through here and you're like, what's that big white structure up there? You kind of see that, and then it gets you looking around, and maybe we can have something more out in this direction, because there's a bit of an open gap into the mountains there, and it forces the viewer's eye, or encourages the viewer's eye, to be moving around the build more than everything just being that spruce and dark oak. And I think that lighter highlight on top really helps to bring everything out. And there we have it, folks. We are all done with this one today. I can't wait to have houses along this side of the street here too. And I think I want to add like a small market square almost in that section, so it's a little bit wider and a area for people to walk around in. But I'm very happy with this one. The interior is completed as well. It's pretty basic. It's very empty in here for now. I think I'm gonna go find some banners that we can throw up on the walls in here, just so we can really mark this area. But I wanted to really focus on getting a lot of our tables and chairs in here, so that a large number of the inhabitants of our village up here are able to come into the feast hall to eat dinner. There's no way to the second level, but I think that's fine. It's just kind of some carpet going around it, so mobs can't spawn up there, which I think will be good for us today. But anyways, that's gonna have to do it for today's episode. I know we haven't been doing too much building on camera. It's kind of all been checking back and things like that, because, you know, replay mod is not quite in 1.15 at all yet. No mods are updated, not even Optifine. And we are starting out very bare bones here. But do you all want to be seeing some more time-lapse-y type of things going on with this one? Or is this kind of style of video that we have going on here good for you all for right now, until we can get replay mod back? I have a second computer that I can load up my second Minecraft account on and get a camera account going there if we really want to do it. So please be sure to let me know in the comments down below what y'all want to be seeing right there. And also, I've been looking for some new time-lapse music. If y'all have any songs or things like that I should be checking out, please make sure that it's vocals, like no vocals, so no people singing or anything like that. It's only like acoustic versions of songs, but please go ahead and link them down below in the comments. That would be absolutely awesome to have some suggestions from the community for what you all want to be seeing here. But anyways, that's enough of me blabbling on and saying anyways a few too many times here. Please be sure to hit that like button if you are enjoying. Subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you on the fWhip side.